But how much fun was that fight for you? Obviously, it's brutal, but, I mean, you look like you were enjoying yourself, playing with him almost.
Yeah, I mean, I really had fun. It was something I dreamed of for over a decade, to be in there and fight for the title, a fight against Dominic Cruz, and then to, have Dana White strap the belt around my waist. It was amazing, but the people that I met on the journey, that came into my life and were positive influences, and it was much more rewarding than I ever thought it was going to be in my wildest dreams. I've always pictured myself being a world champion, but the journey is what I really fell in love with, and meeting the people that I did along the journey, and then seeing how happy and excited they were for me made it so much more rewarding. I couldn't even put it in words.
Now, it's funny because sometimes when you look at fights, everybody talks about wanting to finish. Like, it almost goes back to that Ultimate Fighter thing. Whatever. What was the video game?
The video game when you rip the guy's heart out and stomp?
Like, finish him.
Finish him.
Mortal
Sweep the
Kombat.
leg.
Mortal Kombat. I couldn't remember what it was called. Mortal Kombat is what it was called. How come you didn't try to knock him out or submit him or, I don't know, take him down early? And when I say it looked like you were playing with him, it really felt like you were playing with him.
You know what, I was. There was first and foremost, Dominic Cruz is an amazing fighter, very, consistent, dominant champion. It was great to go in there and test my mettle with him. But, I always believed that I was going to be world champion. I always believed that I set out to be the greatest fighter that I, Lord willing, that I can be. And I was just having fun in there. I was living in the present state of my mind all week. I was constantly reminded by my coaches, teammates, peers, loved ones, even myself, just enjoy it, have fun. It's your first title fight. You only get one first title fight. So I was out there enjoying it. I had him hurt. I know it was hurt early on in the first round with the first punch. I know that my power and speed was too much for him. I just know that I just settled in, found my range, got in my rhythm, get a little swag on him. It would be my fight. And, I just could have finished him a few times, but I was just enjoying, just beating up on him. I mean, he made this fight very personal. That's what he tries to do. He tries to, antagonize his opponents and get them emotional. But, the way I was brought up in fighting and in life, that the words and that stuff's not going to deter me from, my ultimate goal was being a world champion. So it just added fuel to the fire and made me really enjoy whooping his ass like that.
Oh, man, I wish that I can toy with somebody physically like that in front of other people, in front of 20,000. Just know that I got my opponent. I got him beaten to a bloody pulp, and if I want to drop him right now, I can drop him. But for the sake of showmanship and shoving it down this guy's throat, I'm going to stretch him out just a little longer. That must be a pretty good feeling, man.
Yeah, it was. I had a lot of unanswered questions going into that fight with my skill set. I was knocking everybody out, so people want to just jump to the conclusion, oh, he doesn't have this, or how is he in this situation? So I wanted to go out there and not prove to everybody, but prove to myself, too, that I can go 5 rounds with one of the best in the world. And that was more for, a staple for my proving myself, because I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I really don't, just to myself. So I'm my toughest critic and my toughest opponent, So went out there and pushed the pace and had fun. I took the whole 5th round off and just evaded and then did moves. And, I knew I was up on the scorecard. Like I said, I was just living in the moment, having fun in there, enjoying it. 25 minutes of fun. It was the funnest fight I've ever been in. I mean, I've been in a lot of fun fights. That was one of the top ones. But I just enjoyed it. I really fell in love with the crowd. The showmanship we both showed, the heart and spirit, the warrior spirit we had both. He kept coming back, because I let him come back. But, it was great. It was fun. I'm glad that the fans and everyone, reached out and loved the fight and was really entertained by it.
Talking to Cody No Love Garbrandt, of course, UFC bantam weight champ, with us here again on Tiki and Tierney. Was with us, I think, back in December.
Yeah,
of course,
September.
September, my
Yeah.
bad. Always fun to talk with him, catch up.
Cody, it's interesting because the fight game, what you guys do is so much about the showmanship, and it's about promoting yourself and building your brand. I think my favorite quote after your fight was when you said, we were chirping back and forth, talking back and forth, and then all of a sudden he wasn't talking to me, and I knew I had him beat, type of thing. So you have the game, and you speak the game as well as doing it in the ring. But now brings to what happens next for you. There's a void with Conor taking some time off. Is that yours to fill?
I'm not going to put myself in Conor's shoes. I set out to be the best fighter, that I can be, Lord willingly, with my skills. And, if I have longevity in this career and that's the path that it's laid out for me. I'm willing to do what I have to do to become, I guess, that so-called superstar. But for me, it's about a legacy, building a legacy, and going in there and challenging myself every day in fight camp training, and then challenging myself in some of the toughest fights. That's why I called out Jose Aldo. I thought he's a legend. He's a great fighter, and it's another challenge. It's another challenge to myself. But it just I know everyone's these so-called superstars, that the UFC make out to be, or taking some time off. But for me, it's just, I never seen that side of it. I always just pictured of being the best that I could be, best fighter that I could be. All the other stuff is just a plus.
Yeah.
I'm focused on being the best and really staple my legacy. I want to go down in the Hall of Fame, and I want to break a lot of records and set a lot of records to be broken, so the next generation has something to aim for, like I did with Dominic. Dominic was a dominant champion, and he was the champion for a while, and he's what I had my eyes set on, to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to set records and have that X and have people coming after me, and hopefully, be a better fighter and a better person than I am.
I'm curious. You were the penultimate fight, and right after you was Rousey, and as we know, she got lit up, and I don't know where you I don't know if you thought she would fight significantly better. Obviously, when you finish your fight, you've got your own business to tend to. But did you get a chance to? I'm sure you could probably feel the ambiance from the locker room, but did you get a chance to really experience that? Were you even interested? I guess did you even care? Or were you remotely interested how Rousey would perform that night? Because, and I'm not trying to disparage her while she's down, but, I mean, she looked shot. Did you expect a lot more than that?
You know what? There was a lot of unanswered questions, with her coming back. I thought she looked in great physical shape, but physical shape can only take you so far. This is a game of mentality. So it's hard when she took a fall like that. She was such a dominant champion and lost. The way she reacted with her loss and coped with her loss, I think directly affected her performance on that night. Still, after a year of laying off, a year thinking about it, and getting back in there. But hats off to her. I mean, it's courage to get in there no matter what and fight. But after that happening to her, I mean, she's got heart, and she got passion for the sport. It just wasn't her night, and that happens sometimes. Fighting is a crazy sport. It's one punch away, 1 inch away. You guys know that with sports and playing, that anything can happen in there. And some of us are blessed enough that it turns in our favor, and sometimes it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't get to see the fight, or I was just caught up, and I was on a natural high, and just so happy, and just that I got to accomplish that feat, and had so many great people around me that were so happy. And it was a very rewarding night for me. I mean, I'm still in just excitement thinking about it when I think about it through my day at the backstage and after, and just seeing everyone so happy for me. And it was my dream, but it came along the journey. I met a lot of great people, and it became our dream. And it was just able to be happy to be a small part of that.
Yeah.
Their dream.
And we were genuinely happy for you as well. I want to ask you this. I know you got to do a TV hit, but I want to at least get this by you. And trust me, I'm not necessarily comparing something that's fake to something that is as real as your sport. But I always talk about the old WWF on the show, because I don't watch wrestling now. But one guy that really jumped out is one of my favorites of all time is Roddy Piper. He was great on the mic, and he was tough, and he was unpredictable. And I remember somebody like Ricky Steamboat, who was a great technician, but maybe certainly not as good on the mic. And you're kind of in between. You're a great technician. You're good on the mic. But I think that there's room for you to grow your persona, but you still have to remain true to who you are. And what you do well. As you try to make more and more money, let's face it, it's about making money and getting paid. And you get paid by getting people interested, and sometimes people react to the mic work. How much of that do you think you can work on? Do you even think about that? Do you care? What's the next level for Cody Garbrandt?
I think it's his experience, doing it time and time again, getting better at it, getting comfortable on the mic and on the camera. That's a big part of it that a lot of people don't see, is the media obligations and speaking, but also balancing everything, training, fighting, the media. I mean, just a balance. I just, with everything that's going on, after the fight and the superstardom and, the growth of the fight, and after a big fight like that, big win, it's just about balance. I think life in itself is a balance. Just I have to balance it all together, and I feel like I'm getting better on the mic and doing that. But I'm always going to be who I am. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very People think it's emotional. I'm just it's passionate. I speak with passion, and I speak with realness. And I think a lot of the people in this world are fake, so they don't.
Yep.
They don't know how to act towards realness, because it's the world we live in is really fake. There's a lot of fake people. So when you come around that, I think it's people are turned off, or not turned off, or kind of they don't know. They're questionable about it. But until they get to know me, and that's fine. I'm ready and share my story across the world, and hope I can inspire some people on the way.